Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Are we here? Are we coming through? Can y'all hear the words coming out my mouth? Are y'all hearing the sound when it's coming out? Is everything good? Can you hear this? Because last night we got fried. And I don't really know why, but I know that I'm going to always try. So I want to make sure that out the gate, y'all can hear me. Nobody got to hate. What up? What up, T. Carey Wright? What's going on, Varshay? Yo, good day. I hope everybody is ready. Everything is going to be down like a submarine steady. Can you hear the sound? I don't want to mess around. Sometimes it take me a while to go off, but I ain't going to be soft. Tonight we're having this conversation. It's going to be a good one, yo, sensations. It's something that you're going to feel. You're going to feel this tonight because it's very real. Yo, check one. Check one, two. Check 1 2. You know how we do. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Friday. Yo. Yeah. So I take for granted that y'all can hear me. Now, the lights that are supposed to be on are on. So now I can do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Y'all know how we do on a Friday. Music time. Music show. Yo. So tonight, we're going to talk about what happened to the groups in hip-hop and R&B. Rap and R&B. What happened to the groups, y'all? Yo, groups are like the foundation of music. Bands. You know, you hear the creativity of each individual member that puts in the contribution. And it's a good thing. And y'all know 90s R&B. The groups that came out in the 90s, that was a good look. But that was the 90s. Nowadays, you cannot find me a group that you know is notable with no kind of lyrics that's quotable. But we gonna try to take it back. We're gonna name a bunch of groups and be like, where they at? And how come no groups and it's cropping up? Yo, it's like a bathtub, it's stopping up. Can't get the water out the tub, can't get nothing new. Rubber dub, yo. Yeah. Yeah. What? We good? Everything is gonna be all right. Game tight. Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. Yo. Yo. Yeah. Yeah. Shirley, Sarah, what's going on? Where Carla at? You know it's her birthday, right? She probably getting her party on. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go-get-amism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We asking what happened to the hip hop groups tonight? What happened to the R&B groups tonight? So tonight on the Daily Go-Get-Amism show, you get to express your opinion, because this is going to be a very opinion-based show. What I want to talk to y'all about tonight, ask y'all tonight, is what happened to the hip-hop and R&B groups. There used to be plenty of hip-hop and R&B groups. My cat is in here acting up. What you doing over there? What I'm doing? What I'm doing, kitty? You're on a sofa, you're acting wild. Anyway, so, yeah, there used to be a lot of hip-hop groups. There used to be a lot of R&B groups. You know, I was listening to some vintage live R&B. Not vintage live R&B. I was listening to some vintage live Run DMC today. And one thing I remember, you know, Run DMC really doesn't get the accolades that they deserve. And I think that's because when they were out, they got more than what they deserved. But I don't think we understood the treasure that we had in them as a hip hop group and the barriers that they were able to cross and tear down and renew. What up, K Kyle? What up, K Kyle? What's good? So I was looking at the way that Run DMC used to approach the stage. Like, their show was really awesome. You know, Jam Master Jay would start cutting it up in the beginning, and then DMC would come out, and they always acted like Run was like some like the main star of the group. And I always wondered if they really believe that, or if that's the way it was supposed to go. But it worked out well. It worked out well. And I was like, you know what? I miss this. And those were in the days where you could afford to go see a show. Even if they stayed multiple nights, you could go multiple nights because it didn't break you. That was before, you know, the politics of Ticketmaster and all of this crazy stuff started to happen. But, you know, it was a real good look. And I'm thinking like, damn, man. And they were a duo that turned into a group when they named Jam Master Jay as part of the group. So they were a legitimate group. And groups like them did a lot. They did a lot as far as crossover is concerned, putting hip hop on a higher level, getting it the respect that it deserved. And it was dope. And they was, what song were they? They started off singing, it's like that, and it's the way, and that's the way it is. And the way they brought it in was so hot. It was that shit. It really was. One love, one life to live. What's good? What's good? Thanks for coming through. Y'all, appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that almighty, very important, uber important like button. You know what I mean? Get this algorithm thing going. But yeah, we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what happened to the hip hop and R&B groups. So you'll get a chance. You'll get a chance to name some new R&B groups or some hip hop groups if you know of some, because I know that there's a thriving underground that has groups in it. But groups used to be popular. You know, you had just solo artists, but there were way less solo artists than there were groups at one time. And now it's the total opposite. But it almost seems like hip hop and R&B groups have become extinct in music. Meanwhile, in other genres like rock music, there will always be bands. There will always be groups in rock music. Not everybody is trying to stand on that stage solo dolo. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Yeah, we going to get our thing right. I said, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Yeah. Yeah, but yo, get ready, y'all. Yo, make sure y'all answer that poll question too. Yo, cause that's how we do. Hit the like button all of a sudden. Yo. All right, let's get this hardware out of the way. We good. We are good. And we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting. And everything is gonna be all right. And everything is gonna be okay. Y'all know the sun is shining bright. And that thing lights up the earth every day. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, what happened to the hip hop and the R&B group? What happened to them? What happened? So tonight we can get a little nostalgic, and we can talk about your favorite groups of the past, because I doubt if any of y'all have like a long list of groups that y'all know now. You know what I mean? And even the ones that were active back in the day, I don't know if a lot of them are back together now. We know that we have like old school hip hop tours and things like that. And it's a shame. It's a shame that they have to be on old school hip hop tours, because I know that those artists don't get the kind of money that they used to get. And I imagine like a lot of senior artists, I can't say that. I'm not even going to try to say that, because, artists like, look at an artist like Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson is probably making a lot more money than he did back in the day, because he was in a group back in the day, and the contracts were structured differently. He probably didn't know as much about the industry as he does now that he's an older man. So you still have artists now that may be clocking way more dollars than they did back in the day. So I'm not going to say that just because they're doing the old school artist thing that they're not making any money, or that or that they're less business savvy. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. We know when we go to an old school hip hop show, we're going to be able to afford it. And that kind of lets you know where artists are professionally. And being professional only means that you get paid. It doesn't mean how good you are or your level of expertise. I used to think that's what it meant. But when you are a professional, all it means is that you get paid. It does not mean that you are the best. Shit, you might not even be good. You might not even be good, baby. Oh, hold on. Let me undo my top button, even though I like to wear my, people keep accusing me of having no neck. I don't want to get accused of having no neck. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get accused of having no neck. Speaking of which, I didn't mean to be up here all naked. I'm up here all naked. Let me put my clothes on, put my undershirt on right here. There's my undershirt. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. All right, put my undershirt on and then put on my tops. This is going to be my hoodie. Yeah, cow bones, baby. You see the struggle beads? The struggle beads are like that. Yeah, try to find some. You know what I mean? Good luck with that. All right. Y'all looking naked too. Ooh, I see you. I can see your butt. But I'm about to cover you. Kala! Happy birthday. I was just saying you out partying somewhere. Party. Do you wanna go party to a funky jam? Party. All right. So y'all gonna wear one of these. I think last night y'all wore this one. So that's out. I think the night before y'all wore this one. So that's out. So I elect for y'all to wear these. And look, these are good. When we used to vote, this was often picked. It's a good look. Very good. You see that shine? Look at that shiny, huh? It almost looks shellacked. All right, let's go. Okay, here we go. Oh, y'all looking spiffy on this Friday night. Smile, Carla. You know what I mean? Smile. Smell. Hold on, let me get you in the picture. Here. Boom. Oh, that look good. That look real good. Don't look at. Let me cover this part. Hold on. Let me cover this part. Look. Oh shit. Fuck. All right, there you go. All right, look at y'all. Huh? Looking good. Looking real good. Not me. Let me cover this. I said you cover this. Now the rest is you. Y'all looking good. Ladies, you're looking beautiful. You're looking gorgeous. You're looking sweet. You're looking elegant. You're looking, ooh, baby. I gotta get you home with me tonight. Yeah, you definitely looking like that. And brothers, you're looking handsome. You're looking suave. You're looking debonair. You're looking fly. You know, you got your smooth stuff on. Yeah. You definitely going. You're definitely going to be a point of interest. Not point of interest. What do you call a person of interest? There you go. You will be a person of interest tonight. Looking good. Take a screenshot or give it what you got to take a screenshot. And yeah, you like it a lot to take a screenshot. And yeah, you know how it go when you was rocking on the DG show with your man. Oh, Oakland. My brother, my mellow, my man. I said Oakland. My mellow, my man, and my Oakland. My mellow, my man. I said Oakland. My mellow, my man. I said Oakland. My mellow, my man. I said. All right. So we ready? So we're gonna talk about what happened to the hip hop groups. What happened to the R&B groups? Let's do this. Starting out. Let's do this. Name Y'all can randomly name, let's start off this, like doing this. Randomly name all of, no, some of them. Let's do hip hop first. Name some of your favorite hip hop groups of all time. I don't care how far back you go. You can go back to the origin of hip hop if you're from New York. You know what I mean? You know, you can talk about groups that were never even signed if they were your favorites and remain, you know, your favorites to this day. Or you could talk about, you know, as far as modern as you can go if you know any new hip hop groups. But what was some of your favorite groups? I'll name some. My favorite hip hop group of all time was Public Enemy. I love Public Enemy because of the knowledge of self in the lyrics, the fight the power, the really militant aspect of it, the consciousness in the lyrics. You know, it's funny because I never thought that Chuck D was that great of a rapper, but he knew how to put that shit together and he knew how to deliver it. And his stage show was ridiculous, and they knew how to make records. Public Enemy was my favorite. So they're my favorite of all time. Run DMC, without a doubt. Run DMC, I loved Run DMC. I used to hate on Run DMC at the same time because I lyrically, I never thought they were dope. But they knew how to do their shit. Yeah, their rhymes were simple and plain, but they knew how to put that shit together. That's how it was. They knew what they was doing. They knew what they were doing. My man Troy Diesel is all up in the house. What's good, my dude? Shirley Cheryl says Boogie Down Productions, without a doubt. BDP. I always felt like BDP was really just KRS-One though. Is it just me? Because nobody else had records on BDP except for KRS-One. Now, okay, you can count in D Nice, but D Nice wasn't in BDP by the time he went solo. So I always looked at, like when Scott LaRock died, I always looked at BDP as really just KRS-One, carrying on the name of BDP. But I ain't mad at it if you look at it in another way. I ain't mad at it. Let's see. Who else? Eric B. and Rakim. No doubt, Carla. Carla. BDP, with no doubt. But my favorite hip hop group before Public Enemy was UTFO. My favorite group before Public Enemy was UTFO. I thought UTFO was just dope. 3 different rappers, even though I've never felt like they really needed the educated rapper, but you know, everybody gotta have a weak link. May he rest in peace. Rest in peace, Kango Kid also. Rest in peace, Kango Kid. That broke my heart. Broke my heart when Kango got sick. Because he was the most young, he looked like he was aging backwards before he got sick. You know what I mean? But, you know, we all gotta go. May he rest in peace. All we got, look at this. Look at that, y'all. We ready? Look at the boy B. Look at the question he asked. Look at the question he asked. 2 questions. 2 questions. 2 preguntas. Dos preguntas. Dos preguntas. All right. Your favorite groups. Let's list them. I liked EPMD, but I didn't at first. I didn't like EPMD at first. I didn't like them at all. Thought they was whack. That's why it's funny, because when they said people around town talking this and that, how we sound like the R and our music was whack. Dropped the album Strictly Business and they thought we were fold. 30 days later, the LP went gold. So what you saying? That line totally described how I felt about them. So I was like, yo, all right, they stepped it up. One thing I love is when I see artists getting better. Gorilla God King. Gorilla God King. My brother from another mother, down, up, under, he always come through, lightning and thunder. Word. What's going on, my dude? Good to see you. Always, always, each and every time. That boy Saw says, you need a cameraman, boy. I mean, bro, I would appreciate one, but we really just doing still shots. So a cameraman, like if we was doing more shows on location, like if I'm outside or something and I need somebody to, somebody who really knows how to work the camera, I would do it. But in here, like, I'm not really sure if that would like when I used to shoot my videos outside, I carried my tripod with me all the time, my GoPro. Yeah. No, I didn't even use a GoPro. I never used a GoPro. I bought one, but I never used it. I used to just use a real camera, mounted on the joint, and use that shit. My arms used to be strong as shit. So imagine, real trap. Imagine, because I would use something like this. Before I got this lighter selfie stick, I would actually use this one. So imagine me carrying this shit. With an XLR camera on top of that bitch. And I used to do it like this. People used to be like, yo, who's holding the camera? Because they couldn't see. They couldn't see. If you go back and look at my old videos, go look at the ones like from 2015, 16, 17, 18. Yo, I used to just be rocking it with the arms. That's how the arms got big. Part of it. You know what I mean? I'd be like this. Then I got the lighter, John. And that was around the time when I stopped shooting videos outside. But I used to be everywhere. But yo, I appreciate your offer. You know what? Email me, my dude. Email me. He says, yeah, you cold with that setup. Well, I appreciate that. Even if you joking, I appreciate it. He says, definitely, I respect it. I do good work. Just thought I should. No, email me. Sun752. I'll put the email address in the comments. Because if you local, like if you're in the Philly area, you know what I mean, we can work something out. We could definitely work something out. Yeah, email me. You know what I mean? Let's talk. Because I'm always down for an upgrade. Because even if I don't use the cameraman per se, you know what I mean? Maybe I need help with the editing. I always hated editing. So I used to always do like the lazy editing. I would just cut off whatever was happening in the beginning, add my music, add the soundtrack, and cut off the end. But that was, I should have really put it together. Like, like cut certain scenes or whatever. But I used to do the one take so well that it wasn't really an issue. But nonetheless, I don't refuse any help. Gorilla God King, man, I want to thank you for that super chat. Out of everything I was talking about, I never really mentioned that. Thanks for that super chat, man. I appreciate you, my dude. I really, really do. And Samantha Wishnat, what's that? Wisnant? All right, that's what's up. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Chippy, or is that Chip Y? Cheryl Hudson says, during the hikes, your videos were nice. Yeah, I mean, but those were easy. You know what I'm saying? Those were easy. All right, let's go. So what y'all supposed to be doing right now we are talking about what happened to the hip hop and R&B groups. What happened? What happened? They are extinct. They're like dinosaurs. They're like dinosaurs, my dude.
You have a call from
Troy.
My man, my mellow. What's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Bro? Right here and now, I do declare this will be the new funky beat of the year.
Yeah.
You know how we do it.
I gotta memorize how we do. Huh?
Houdini, bro.
Without a doubt. You know what I'm saying?
You damn right. Chuck D, Houdini.
Okay.
Public Enemy. Fucking who else? Stepsonics.
Definitely, I mean, Step was my shit. Still is. Man? You know, they was Stepsonic was performing at the Dell a few weeks ago.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Lady went after that shit.
Well, Lady B had the show. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was a good look. Because a lot of people don't even be going in the show. You can hear everything outside. People just be partying outside. They never even go in.
I know they be staying on the outside.
Yo, because people say that it's not that comfortable at the Dell. They say it's really better just to save your money and listen. They say you can hear it just like you inside. Dimples Bees is in the house. What's up, Dimples? And Butch Palooka.
Butch Palooka, we ain't doing that tonight, man. There's no
what he
CK
said.
Conversation. There's no CK. CK can't compare to MLK. We don't do that tonight, bro. That was a couple nights ago. We talk about CK.
Well, I'll say this.
Took care of that, son. We ain't talk about CK.
No. But I'll say this. They caught the boy that killed him.
MAGA.
What did I tell you? You know, I gotta start betting. I said, ain't no way he gonna be nothing but MAGA. Watch. I was like they couldn't see that. I think they was just pump faking. But yeah,
MAGA was the case that they gave him.
Right? Ain't that? Yo, that's what's up.
Hey, boy, hey. CK, MAGA. Hey, that's what y'all wanted.
What up, Charles? Charles 2.0. Look, one thing is for sure. All the regular people in here, they're like, yo, stick to the topic. We ain't doing that. Fuck out of here.
We ain't doing no CK night. You already know you a fool for saying what you said.
Look, motherfuckers like they done had it with the happenings of this week. They like, no, we going to the Friday music show. Well, I'm not fucking with none of that other bullshit.
That's like going to an R&B show. That's like going to a fucking rap show and they playing country. We ain't playing no country music.
Like, no, not tonight. Not tonight.
No country.
Do not ask me who robbed the store. I don't want to talk about that shit.
I don't want to hear the country. I don't want to hear the country version. Everybody at the club getting tipsy. I want to hear the fucking rap version.
Man, all right. So, let's go on. Y'all was naming y'all favorite groups of all time. You came through with the Houdini. You know what I was listening to on my way home?
What?
I was listening to Divine Sounds. What people do for money. I'm like, yo, this is my shit.
I thought you was listening to Chuck Man Jones, like I said.
No. Nah, I was listening to Divine Sounds. Huh?
I thought you was listening to Chuck Man Jones riding through Kensington.
Nah. One thing is for sure. When I ride through Kensington, I turn the music up extra loud. Like, I don't want to hear what I see. No way I want to hear what I see. But yeah, so I was listening to Divine Sounds. And I was like, it was a lot of groups. It was a lot of hip hop groups that was good before hip hop really blew. You know what I mean? A lot of them never really got a chance to materialize. Like, I used to like the Boogie Boys.
You damn right.
You know what I mean? Fly girl.
Oh shit.
You ain't fresh. You ain't fresh. You ain't fresh. You ain't fresh. Boy, your clothes look crazy. I wonder where you got them. Big. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my favorite shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think they was only good for.
I ain't gonna leave a lie. You know what else I used to like, man? I used to like fucking Two Live Crew, man. I used to like the original Two Live Crew.
The original. I liked it when it was Marquise and
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the original was before they was their original when they was doing Throw That Dick, that was before Marquise and Fresh Kid Ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Marquise, brother Marquise and Fresh Kid Ice when they was really making the money. Well, when Luke was.
You never heard about Throw That Dick.
What up, Keith?
To a house party.
Mm.
You would never heard that if you ain't go to a house party.
Well, I don't know, because that ain't the first place I heard it.
Well, the first place I heard it was in a house party. Master D, South Philly finest. Shout out to my brother, man.
I remember him. Yeah. Hell yeah. I definitely do.
Son.
Master
D.
Master D.
I used to be part of. Look, I used to be on my skinny days. I used to be part of the dance team. We always went on the road, and I was the tallest, less heavier dance team, bro.
That's what's up. Well, see, it's funny you bring that up because the group, having rap groups or whatever. There were plenty of groups in the city that I don't even think they was thinking about making records or nothing. They was just getting money doing parties.
Yeah.
But that was definitely the foundation of hip hop. It was the groups. Wasn't no solo rappers. It wasn't going to be no rappers that was going to make it without being in a group. That wasn't going to happen.
I'm going to tell you from the door, I like to give a shout out to one of the the legendary first women on rap, Malika Love.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. All right. So yeah, I like Salt and Pepper, Carla.
You damn right. You know what? The funny thing about Salt and Pepper, man, that was the first women rap group that you just sung their song in this entirety. You didn't substitute it with man or nothing. When you first
wait a minute, hold on a second.
You have a call from.
So when you first heard the song, I take your man right out the box and put him under my pants. You rap that shit. You ain't switch it up from woman. Because the shit was that fucking nice.
Well, it did flow.
It did flow.
But you got to
remember. I mean?
My mic sound nice. Check one.
Check one. My mic sounds nice. Listen.
But wait a minute. Do y'all remember who they were before they were Salt and Pepper?
What was the name of it? Shit.
Super Nature.
Yeah, Super Nature. Yeah.
It was Super Nature. The Salt and Pepper MCs.
Herbie Lovebug, man. Herbie Lovebug don't get no credit for the shit he did, man.
He got money though.
That ain't right, bro.
he got the money. He got the money.
Yeah, it might be why they didn't get no credit because he might have taken them under.
No. Nobody ever. I never heard nobody say that Herbie was jerking nobody.
I don't understand why he don't get the props.
He don't get the props because by the time because Herbie really stayed in the background. He didn't get in front of the a microphone in front of the camera like Marley did or like a lot of other DJs / producers did. Like Herbie was more than content being in the background. Like, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I'm gonna make this music and count this money.
Son. Fucking wait. Dana Dane, this beat a death beat. That beat he did from this beat is death beat.
Mm-hmm. That was dope. But hold on. Y'all doing too much because I don't want to get off. We going too far. This is not a hip hop historian show tonight. We're asking what happened.
This is not a hip hop historian show tonight.
I'm about to cut y'all mic right the fuck off. I ain't gonna have no problem with it tonight. What we talking about tonight?
You're a troublemaker, son.
Look. We already 40 minutes in. We gotta get some order. So what we're talking about tonight is what happened to the hip hop and R&B groups, because there really aren't any new ones anymore. There really aren't.
Sure.
And it don't make no sense, because the groups, that's what we liked. There were very few solo artists that was popping more than groups were. So I'm trying to figure out, and I figure I would employ all of y'all, get everybody involved, and try to figure out what happened to the hip hop and R&B group. What happened? What up, Misty Cool? What up, Stacy? What you say, Keith?
Go ahead, Troy. I'm gonna let you have the floor. Then I'm gonna get.
No, he already had the floor. You go ahead and talk this shit.
Oh, so what happened was, man, when Spotify and Apple and IG and all this other stuff came out, ain't nobody really like left for no groups or nothing. Cause when you look at one of the last top groups, the last top 3 groups was Drew Hill, Boyz II Men, and Jodeci. And that's in our era. And you see,
there were groups who came. There were decent groups that came out after them.
Yeah, they ain't one.
Pretty Ricky.
So for real,
Pretty Ricky wasn't no group.
Yes, it was.
I'm gonna let you talk about Ricky. I'm gonna let you have Pretty Ricky. But wait, Pretty Ricky in that group or Pretty Ricky by itself?
Pretty Ricky was the name of a group. It was a group of young brothers. They were blood brothers, and they had out a few hits.
Grind with me.
No, that's not Pretty. You talking about them from the boys that came from Miami, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And then Pretty Ricky came out by herself.
No, Pretty Ricky was the name of the group. That was not a solo
Pretty Ricky was the name of the group. Okay. Next came out after Boyz II Men.
That definitely. Next was a good. But see, we talking about the 90s. Pretty Ricky came out in the 2000s.
Yeah. Okay.
So R&B, hip hop and R&B.
So you might just say B2K.
Okay, what about them?
I'm gonna tell you what happened to the music groups. What happened to the music groups is that record companies downplayed the music groups. They allowed these generations to fuck the music group scene up. They fucked it up, and they felt as though it was best to go with the solo artists, and they thought that the solo artist was more important, like Chris Brown, Usher, Neo, Trey Songz, all the ones and came up, especially Usher, with Confessions and how he blew up just from that alone. That's diamond. That's like 13, 14 times platinum, Confessions alone.
Okay.
So you couldn't market it. You couldn't really market groups. Groups was really, but the best thing about groups is that they was fucking dope as shit. Dope as shit. And that's what, and that's what fucked them up.
Mm.
So,
that's what
let me ask you something. So you probably know what group was the Backstreet Boys Justin Timberlake came from?
No, he came from NSYNC.
Yeah, NSYNC. My fault. I got it wrong. Yeah, NSYNC. And then Justin came out by herself. So why Justin lead the group? Because NSYNC was killing it.
What you gotta also realize was Justin had crossover appeal. Justin was playing. NSYNC was being played on
First of all,
in Philly. In Philly, he was being played on R&B stations.
First of all, we talking about hip hop and R&B groups. We ain't talking about We ain't talking about
hip hop.
We ain't talking about no NSYNC. We ain't talking about no Backstreet Boys. We ain't talking about no New Kids on the Block. We ain't doing none of that shit.
No, I understand that, but I'm explaining something to you, son, and I agree with you. But NSYNC was being played on DAS, Power 99.
I don't remember.
I remember.
I don't remember DAS though. I think probably not.
I know Justin Timberlake was, but I don't remember NSYNC.
That song, the song that I remember that was being played on the radio, NSYNC, was the song "Going." The song "Going" is what really is what propelled Justin Timberlake to be able to go to go and leave NSYNC. The song "Going" when he did that song solo.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing:
that the radio station is not so much as Spotify, Apple, and all them that done it. It's the radio stations. They didn't put the focus on groups in music.
I can't. I'm gonna tell you why I don't accept that. Because radio always been about payola anyway. So if you pay them, they'll play anything you tell them to. So no, the radio they don't promote what's hot. They promote what's paid for. So if it's a group, you got more money to pay. It's not like they charge you by the member. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons that I really can't accept that the money was splitting up the money is the main reason that groups aren't being formed anymore is because groups have been shitted out of their publishing and out of their, like, look at 112. 112 actually wrote all of their songs and all of that shit, but they signed that badass contract with Bad Boy with Puffy, and Puffy took they publishing. So when they went to Def Jam, they wrote songs about that, like, you know, I wrote all of the songs, yet you took the credit for it, and, you know, talking about, you know, you produced and all of that. You ain't produced none of our records. So it wasn't that if you went solo, you was guaranteed to make more money. You could go solo and still get a bad contract and be fucked up. At least if you in a group, you have more eyes on the establishment. You know what I mean? Somebody in the group is going to be woke. Like, yo, the money ain't right. Unless that group member is Teddy Riley. Where you're like, yeah, this is all we got.
Right. Like, well, just like NWA zone when Q left, and then they started breaking the piece and signing that shitty ass contract.
No, they they left. They already had signed a bad contract. But I'm glad you brought up Q, because Q went solo and signed another bad contract.
Yeah,
he just got more than he would have got in the group, but he signed another badass contract with Priority Records. So I'm sure that money is a contributing factor for people leaving groups, but I don't see that as being a contributing factor for not starting groups. We're not seeing groups start.
Well, I don't think that you're going to see groups start no more because it became obsolete. People don't start.
How?
Because can I finish speaking? Mr. Sun 752.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I believe they became obsolete because people in the group feel as though they are doing more than like if you got somebody in a group writing songs and the other ones is just singing it and nobody's coming to the forefront and one of them is like the lead singer. Like, let's look at Next. The reason why Next broke up was because there was infighting. They broke up because RL was the lead singer and they didn't look at him as the lead singer. It was just so happened that they put him as the lead singer on almost every song, and he wrote songs. And that's the same thing with New Edition. When New Edition came up, they put fucking Ralph Tresvant at the front, and everybody didn't realize that he was the head. That's what made Bobby upset, because Bobby is one of the main people that started the group and brought them together. And Bobby felt as though he should have been having a lot more vocals. So when he did get an opportunity to sing on Mr. Telephone Man, you see what the fuck happened. He took that shit and he just kept, he went to concerts and just, he took Mr. Telephone Man was a 3-minute song. He made this shit a half hour to an hour song.
Well, Well, see,
but do you know why they put Ralph as the lead singer at that time?
no,
when he first came out, he sounds so much like Michael that
there you go. That was it.
He was able to be marketable. He was able to be marketable. But at the end of the day, if you start a group, you need to use the nucleus. Like if you really listen to New Edition, right? There's only let's take away Johnny Gill. There was only 3 people in the group that can sing. And that was Ricky Bell, Ralph Tresvant, and Bobby Brown. The other 2 were just backup singers or rappers. You see, and that's the whole thing about it. And you notice them 2 never fought. They never argued about shit. Shit, Rob could have said, "Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis." To all of them. But Bobby.
I don't think that New Edition is a good example because number one, they got jerked their whole entire career. And that's number one. And number 2, they still together. So that's not a good example.
Well, they definitely still together. I just can't believe Bobby Brown used to fuck with Janet Jackson though.
We're not doing all that. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, we got focus issues tonight. So, like I said, I don't think that New Edition is a good example.
But see, they still together despite the bullshit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we can't say that it's because of the money because money never divided them. We can't say it was because of creative differences because creative differences never divided them. And they're still, they are. Huh?
Why do you think Bobby left?
No, that's not why Bobby left. That's not why Bobby. That's not why Bobby left. The way he had the motherfucker was getting high and he was fucking up. He was missing practice.
Yeah, but he was getting high.
The bottom line is he was not. He did not leave the group. That's number one. He got kicked out of the group. He did not leave voluntarily. He got put out the group. That's not. So it ain't had nothing to do with creative differences. You can't change the history.
So look at the group now.
Let me ask both of y'all a question. So do you think that if Bobby was given the opportunities that Ralph was given, that he wouldn't have got kicked out the group?
I don't really care. The bottom line, but the bottom line is, I don't think that Bobby would have ever blown up in the group as a group. You know what I'm saying? Just like Ralph didn't blow up in the group. You know, he was recognized as the lead singer, but it was obvious that he needed the group just as much as everybody else did. They just didn't know that until they all went solo. Because at the end of the day, BBD was the ones with the least talent did the best.
Yes.
So
that's not true. Yeah,
it is true.
Why you figure that?
Bobby Brown did the best.
No, he did the best for one album. His other albums ain't do. What the Humping Around album? No, not no 2 or 3. No. The Don't Be Cruel album and that Humping Around album. And that Humping Around album, that Humping Around album blew up. It caught fire and it died out fast as shit. That album did not have longevity. It was done.
And it only had the one. That Humping Around album had that one drum from Ghostbusters, and that was it. For real.
Well, he had the song Humping Around.
This is why.
Yeah, he had the song Humping Around.
So wait, listen. Now you talk. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
No, because y'all because y'all doing too much. You're not getting into all that shit. You're not doing all that. So
I'm giving you a group.
We're not because y'all taking this way. It ain't got no. We're trying to get to why there aren't any groups now. And like I already said, that New Edition is not a good example because they are still here, still relevant, never broke up officially. They never broke up. They each did individual projects, but they never broke up, which means they never had to get back together. And they still together. So they are not the reason why we don't have R&B groups. So we're trying to find a reason.
Another one. I didn't bring up no edition. I brought up Tony, and Tony.
What do you mean Tony, and Tony? It was Tony.
Tony, and Tony.
Have a little respect.
Where you get the damn end from?
You know what I mean? Have a little respect. One of the greatest R&B groups of all time. He's talking about some Tony, and Tony. That's fake, phony.
You had to put the whole end.
You know what? I'm not calling. You know what? I'm deleting all y'all. I'm not calling into this show. Tony, and Tony. I mean, Tony. There you go. Better. Sound better. Sound good. Sound great.
It sounded a lot better.
He went on his own way. But Ralph Sadiq did his own. Listen, Ralph Sadiq did his own thing. He wrote songs for people, and he was established artist on different people's soundtracks. I mean, on different people's songs. But at the end of the day, they was one of the groups that still can get back together to come to perform.
No, they can't because one of them is dead now. They're not getting back together.
Who died?
Dwayne, he's gone.
What you want to call them?
All right, so Tony, and
you realize that all of them name was. You do know that none of their names was Tony, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
All right. Let's get this focused. This show is not about why groups broke up. This show is about why there aren't any new groups coming out. This is not about why groups broke up.
I got it. Why there's no new groups coming out is because
there's no new groups coming out because record companies is not focusing on groups. They focus on solo artists.
There you go.
Well, wait. So what proof do y'all have of that?
There's
no groups that are coming out.
That's not proof. Because they are. First of all, hold on, Troy. There aren't any record labels. This ain't the 90s, 80s, or any time before. There aren't any record labels. So it's everybody is coming out. Everybody is coming out. This is all about streams now. The artists who blow up. Hold up. The artists who blow up now make more money than any of the artists could have ever dreamed of before. But so you can't necessarily use the money angle because there's enough money for those groups to flourish and get paid.
Well, what we gonna do?
Not the money. It's not the money. Listen,
hold on. We're gonna ask you why. You give us the reason why the record companies, why there's no more R&B groups.
I don't know that. Wait. No.
Can I go first?
He just asked me. He said, son. Your name, son?
What's up, son? It depends on if I'm in New York or not.
Then that would be SON. I'm SUN. So I don't, Troy, I can't say why there aren't any new groups. I'm wondering. That's why I put it out there. And that's why I'm asking.
So the only thing that we can give you, or I can give you, is my own hypothesis on what I think.
Well, okay. So I'm here to hold on. I'm here to provide information. I'm telling you, it's not the labels. I'm telling you straight up and down. That's not it.
So let's just put it like this. It's not a label, but yet UMG and it's still record companies that sign people.
It's not like it was before.
Now, even if you go to the independent, even if you go the independent route, there are no independent groups. You haven't heard of somebody blowing up as an independent group.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, that's not true.
Name an independent group you heard right
No. I'm saying that there aren't any groups. But we already have it established that there aren't any groups or there aren't many groups. I know that there are groups out there, but we don't know about them. So we're trying to figure out why. Like exactly what I'm trying to ask is, when did the shift go from having a lot of groups to only a little bit of groups to having virtually none? When did it happen? And then we can try to figure out why that is. Because a lot of the old groups are still groups. They may not be as active as they were before. But it's not because labels aren't signing groups. Because if it was like that, then the groups from before, like the Wu-Tangs and the Locks and all of that, they still come out with new music. But and they have to find new labels. They not on the labels that they were on before. So they can find
what you have to realize.
Wait a minute, let me finish. So you can't say that labels aren't signing any groups, because why would you take a chance on signing a Wu-Tang Clan when it's 9 of them, and the likelihood that they're going to go gold and platinum in this era is just about 0. It's not going to happen. So but if you'll sign them to a deal, you mean to tell me you wouldn't sign a new group to a deal? Now, I'm thinking that a more logical excuse for why there may not be any new hip hop or R&B groups is because the internet is taking people away from each other, to whereas it's hard to, before it was people around your way that did music with you. You know what I'm saying? So y'all would come out together. Like, all right, this is our crew, and we gonna make our demos or whatever, and we gonna shop our demos and blah blah blah. Now it's not like that. Now motherfuckers are independent on the a lot of rappers ain't pure rappers. They don't hone their skills the way they used to. So where before, you rapped in front of the chicken spot, you rapped in the schoolyards, in the park, or wherever it was, or whatever, and people would recognize you and they would invite you to be in their group. I don't know if it's like that anymore. Now people are making records with each other, and we have a lot of collabos. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Maybe it's like, well, we don't necessarily have to have a group. I can just do I can just get a feature, and we can seem like it's a group. But even with that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because we've had solo acts that have come together to make a group, like LSG, like TGT. That was their name, right? Yeah, TGT. They've tried even those solo artists have seen the necessity of trying to put a group together. So there has to be another reason. It can't just be creative differences or money or labels.
Wait, son, let me go before Troy goes to hog up all the air. Listen, so you absolutely 100%. Look, you just said for which come. Man, hold on. I'm gonna get to Troy in a minute, but listen, you just said it. In this situation right now, as me and you, like, this is the Sun Show, whatever your name is, right? You are the lead. You are the headliner. We are the backup. People don't know how to. People in the group now, everybody wants to be a headliner. Everybody wants to sing. Everybody don't play their part in music groups. So when it's time to sign the contract, go get a deal, go get this. Everybody feel certain individuals feel like they cheated out. Just like when you look at it, they can't come back together. You can't put 3 people in a room together that can sing and pick one that you think that's going to be a headliner on the mic that start the That ain't going to never happen again, because the ego is in the way. Somebody going to always think they better than everybody. Like Troy, think he have better dancer than me and you. I mean, come on, seriously.
Listen. Once again, I understand why groups break up. That's not what I'm asking.
But I'm telling you asking, why. I just told you. You're not going to get 3 people on the wall. Go ahead.
You're not going to tell me that. Hold on. Just a second, Troy. You're not going to tell me that none of these artists out here want to be in a group, because not every artist is built to be a solo artist. So being in a group was helpful for a lot of artists, especially like if you weren't like could you imagine if somebody like Phife Dawg would have came out solo? Like he wasn't built for that. He wasn't built for that. You know what I mean? He got better. He got better in the group because it's a support system. That's what the group is. It's not just three motherfuckers battling each other. It's three or four, however many people in the group supporting each other. So what could be better? What would be better? Shopping your demo all by yourself, you know what I mean? With no real support, having to depend on somebody to promote you or whatever, or being in a group where this person might know this person, he got connects over there, he's done this, he's been this place, he got a cousin over here. You know what I mean? It's a group has more resources.
It's not the same no more, dog. I'm trying to tell you that. It's not the same. You can't put
the reason why there's no more groups is because they're not checking for groups. They're looking for the next Usher, the next Usher. They're looking for the next Chris Brown. They're not looking for the next New Edition or the next NSYNC or next other R&B group that could take over. They're not doing that.
Why?
Like Philadelphia, we had a group.
Who's not looking for that? Who's not looking for that?
Let me let you speak, sir.
No. I'm asking you. Like you said, they're not checking.
Speaking. Let me elaborate, and then I'm going.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
What I'm saying to you is that Charlie Mack had a group coming out of Philly called Brotherly Love, and nobody picked up on it, and nobody blew them up the way they should have been blown up. And he has every connection in the music industry. So I don't understand why they didn't flourish and get to the point where they had to be at. You know, so there has to be a reason behind it. They're not checking. Nobody is putting a force behind it. And at the same token, R&B groups are not relevant right now. The groups are not relevant.
How do we?
If they were relevant, people will be putting a force behind it, or they'll be putting a force behind themselves.
They're not relevant because they're non-existent. But I think if they came out, if they made good music, motherfuckers are gonna gravitate towards it. But okay. All right. I'm surprised to hear you have that perspective, Troy, because by me and you doing comedy, you fully understand that you're not going. Every comedian is a solo act. There are no groups in comedy. Right. But if you don't stay on your grind, you are not going to blow. So, wait a minute. Okay, wait.
I want you to keep what you just said.
All right. Okay. So you gotta. So if you think you just gonna get on stage and somebody in the audience is gonna see you and give you an opportunity to blow or whatever, you wasting your time. You gotta get in people's faces. You gotta make calls. You gotta humble yourself. You gotta jump on that train or put gas in that car and go up that turnpike. You know what I mean? You may have to take a little bit of money in order to get more money later. You gotta do bringer shows. You gotta do a whole lot of shit to promote yourself. So if you ask how come Charlie Mack's group didn't do as well, he might not know how to fucking do it. Charlie Mack ain't no he ain't no producer. He ain't no a manager, no shit like that. He ain't. So he may, you know, him watching first MC Breeze. He was actually with MC Breeze before he was with Jazzy Jeff and Prince, but he wasn't involved in the business part of it. I mean, he was the bodyguard.
I just seen a documentary on Charlie Mack where as though he was managing people.
Is he a good manager?
And now let me just elaborate on what you were saying.
Well, okay, so wait a minute. Now, if I was doing music if and this started in Philly. If you can't find a label to sign you, then you press up your records, you make your tapes and your CDs or whatever, and you start selling out your trunk. You go up to the record, you go up to the well, this back in the day, you would go to all the record stores. If there was they remember there used to be DJs in the record stores. So they would play records when people came into the record store to buy records. They would hear records that they could buy, because the DJ was spinning records, and that's how a lot of records got going, and that's how they caught on a lot of times. So you got your shit played in the record stores, and then that parlayed to getting your shit played on the radio locally, not nationally, but locally. And while you selling what was now known as mixtapes, before you were selling the vinyl albums or records that you pressed up, and you was getting money that way. And you actually make way more money that way than you will ever with a label. But people be wanting to be on the label because they feel like they got on. You know what I mean? That's like a graduation thing, but you actually make more money independent. So if you a real manager, what you gonna say is this: all right, this is what we gonna do. We gonna do our own thing and then when these labels catch on, then we'll be able to set our price. That's what Schoolie D did. That's what Jeff and Prince did. That's what Steady B did. That's what we used to do. Them cats in New York, that's not what they did. They always had a label. In Philly, we did our own thing. So it's the same thing now. Now we don't Now we don't have labels. We don't have labels, and the whole country knows that you got to do your own thing because it's about streams. So you gotta get your shit out there on the internet. Now, if you got a manager that if you have a manager that's not really resourceful, maybe he knows a lot of people, but he don't know the questions to ask. Like, yo, how can I get my people out there? Who can they open up for? You know what I mean? How can I get them on stage? How can I get their record played somewhere? You know what I mean? Somebody get me. If I'm a real manager, I should be able to find a way to get Cosmic Kev. You know what I mean? To let my peoples come up there and get on the come up show something. You know what I'm saying? Even if they gotta come with somebody else. Like, all right, well, Quilly know Meek and Meek know Kev. So, and they all have been on the come up show. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get close to Quilly over here and see what he can do. For the money, he gonna do it. So. We can't say that nobody's checking for groups because they don't even know what groups to check for. But if you put them, if you had decent music, I think that you would be able to put it out.
So you just said up here, when you gave the comedy around chronology, right? It was about having that hustle ambition. Pretty much, when you're in the comedy, some of these groups are not doing that chitlin circus type shit no more. They're not going on the road. They're not putting forth the effort. They're not getting in no van and riding all around the East Coast and down South, putting themselves and showing that they're marketable or putting music out. They're not printing out music because there's not even so much printing out music on CDs now. They're streaming, and they're not showing that they're marketable. They're not showing that they have markability. And so when you're doing all this work and you're putting so much effort in, and they feel like at the end of the day, there's nobody biting, it's discouraging. So they fall off. They fall off.
Oh, okay,
and
but
they say no.
But I'm not even seeing them get started.
Right. Well, just like Kim just put in there, way more. You got YA kids that sound good as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good as shit, and they're not even out there in the damn as a music group, and they grow like a motherfucker. He has a daughter that sound good as shit.
Okay,
all kids can sing, and they're not out there.
Okay,
so if they're not putting the work, if they're not pushing it, and they're not putting the work in, if they're not putting it on any type of stream on Spotify or Apple Music for people to hear, if they're not doing none of this, and there is record labels,
so you don't wait. Do you know that they don't have their music on all streaming platforms?
Well, if they did, I don't know.
Because who doesn't do that?
We're asking about why are there not any R&B groups? And everything is our opinion on why it's not any R&B groups. There's not a wrong answer because we really don't know why.
Right.
We're giving an opinion.
That's true.
So my opinion is that they're not checking the way they're checking for the next Usher, the next Chris Brown, the next Trey Songz, the next Neo, the next Mario. They checking for a whole lot of damn solo artists.
But hold on. You think about the people that you just named. You barely named anybody under 40 years old.
Even if I bring invested, we're in a different time.
But that's what I'm saying. See,
they're not looking for. In order for you to be, you have to be a different type of group. It's just like Jay-Z. When Jay-Z was out, what made Kanye pop is because he was a different type of rapper. You need something different to put out there for the masses. We talking about a different generation. You're not marketing yourself to 55-year-old people. You marketing yourself to fucking kids now, young adults, teenagers. So our R&B groups are still going on tour. From our generation, shit, our moms' R&B groups are being pushed on stage on gurneys and performing.
All I'm saying is this. All I'm asking is this. Because I don't think I know that there's a right way and a wrong way to do anything. And sometimes old tried and true methods have burned out. So but I'm thinking that if we can come up with new, like, all right, look, if we can come out with new artists that are blowing up without a major push, like look at Sexy Red. You can't say that she blew up on talent. She got a little bit, but
no, we're not going to play that shit.
Well, this is my point is this. She came from the internet. She wasn't putting in work on the streets. She ain't never rocked the mic at a party or a major event. She blew up on the internet. So I'm thinking that if a solo act can blow up on the internet, then why can't a group blow up on the internet? Now, of course, like going viral and all of that kind of thing, catching fire, there's a little bit of luck that's involved. But I think that if you got a good product, then somebody's going to recognize it. You may not be the next. You may not be the next, but you can still, you can still get yourself out there and build. But everything starts at one. So I don't see why I don't see one new group. Now I'm learning a little bit more tonight, with you talking about Wanye's group and Candy Burris has been working with a group, and evidently other people have been working with them too. I don't, and we can't say that it's about your looks or anything like that, because those are the excuses that labels used to give. Like, if they didn't really like the way y'all looked and they didn't think that y'all were marketable, they wouldn't market you. But you can market yourself now, and it ain't all. And evidently, you ain't got to be all super beautiful, you know what I mean, or crazy handsome. You know what I mean? You can really get over on your talent now. And there are some, like, there's this violin group on the internet called Strings, and they do live shows and shit, and they dope. You know what I mean? But they don't really apply to this situation. It's three women who play the violin and the cello. Motherfuckers off the chain.
And I give you, and if that's the case, right, that's something different. Now, if you add a singer to that, it will blow because it's something different.
Well, hold on, Troy, because they don't sing, but they get money because they play live dates. So, like the place that has a live entertainment, not Warm Daddies, but that place over on Broad and what is that? Broad and Wallace, whatever. It's a restaurant that has live music like Warm Daddies used to. You know what I mean? And they perform. They on tour, and they've been touring for years. So,
sure, I'm gonna give you
hold on. My point is this. Everybody doesn't have to be all blown up and everything. If you going on tour and you selling your music while you on tour, you know what I mean? You could call it the Chitlin Circuit, or you could just call it smaller venues. It costs money to go see them. They get money. They have enough money to have a tour bus and to sustain themselves. And they getting paid. Now they do, and the record and the songs that they play are like R&B songs. So they kind of count in this equation in the way they don't, and in the way they do. They are playing our music. It's not like they playing Johann Sebastian Bach or Mozart or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So they figured it out. Like, yo, we gonna hit the streets. Who knows? They might They might find themselves on The View one day, and if they do, guess what? Now they blow. They got the exposure that they needed. But you can't always. I'm not asking why. Hold on. I'm not asking why hip hop and R&B groups aren't big like they used to. I'm asking why they aren't visible. Like, it seems like they're not there.
They're not an R&B group.
They play R&B.
They're not an R&B group. They play violins and strings.
Okay.
An R&B group sings.
Okay. All R&B groups sing?
What R&B group that you don't know that sings?
Pieces of a Dream.
Pieces of a Dream. They had a song out. 454 was a song. That was one of their biggest hits.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
What other one was one of their biggest
Don't
hits?
even care about any other ones.
Oh, okay.
That one.
So, but guess what? The song that I'm thinking of when I think of Piece of a Dream is not the one that has any words.
The song that I'm thinking about when I hear Piece of a Dream is the one.
First song that comes to my mind is Mount Airy Groove.
That's one of the first.
Mount Airy Groove is the first song that comes to my mind when I think about Pieces of a Dream. But that's only one? Mount Airy Groove.
Right, okay, that's Mount Airy Groove. But what put me on to Pieces of a Dream was 454. That's what turned me on because I heard the word.
I don't even know that song.
I was watching the game just the other day with Moses Malone. He said to Dr. J, he said, ooh, our lucky numbers are numbers 454. So I remember that.
Oh, that shit that came out when they won the championship. Nah.
Right.
Like Mount Airy Groove is the song that I know from.
Yeah, Miami Groove. And what popularized Miami Groove? It wasn't just Pieces of a Dream. What popularized it was Jazzy Jeff.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
You didn't scratch that record?
Years later. Mount Airy Groove came out in like 82. It wasn't no Jazzy Jeff.
What turns it on? What turns it on to the masses, to other generations?
I don't know, Troy. I know when Listen. I know when the song came out And I know when I was listening to it, that's all I know. I don't know the song from no Jazzy Jeff. That is not how I know it. As a matter of fact, I didn't even like him. I didn't like that shit he did to it. I wasn't impressed. It was an instrumental. I never used to play that shit. Yeah, put that shit on.
I didn't play it, but when I heard it, I liked it.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the song came out in 82, not in 86.
The most important thing about was making groups not relevant today, or why there are not R&B groups, is still because of the fact that, I mean, you done made a bunch of points. They're not being pushed.
Well, the last point was you were saying that in order to be an R&B song that it had to have words, and that's just not true. That's
maybe
just not true.
In our generation is not true. This is a different generation, son. They're not marketing to us. R&B music is not marketed to us anymore. Not like that.
Troy, in this day and age, I don't listen. Any music that I discover is going to be over the internet. I don't listen to the radio and haven't listened to it in 20 years. So that's not how I discover music. And I know I'm not the only one who can say that. I haven't listened to the radio in 20 years. Power 99 is like when I program my radio, the first station on my number one station is sports radio, because I only listen to it when I leave the game earlier. I'm earlier than it ends, and I want to hear what happened in the rest of the game. I don't listen to the radio. And I know I'm not the only person that I know that doesn't listen to the radio. So I can't speak from that standpoint. But what the standpoint that I can speak from is the streaming platform and the independent route, because I know how much money you can get from that. It's not about labels anymore. Labels are giving out 360 deals that even a solo artist shouldn't take. And the reason that they're giving out 360 deals is because they can't make money anymore. So it's not about the label. And if it's not about the labels are not giving out advances like they used to, because they can't make money the way they used to. And they're using the 360 deals for mostly publishing. Honestly, mostly publishing is what they're pushing. So you can get a publishing deal yourself. You can do it. You can do all of this yourself. You can do it as a solo artist, and you can do it as a group. I'm trying to figure out why there aren't any groups like there used to be, because it would cost a lot more money for me individually if I was trying to write, produce, and publish my music by myself. If I had a group, 3 other members or something, then we could pool our money. So like I can't turn off my knowledge of the industry. That's why I'm baffled as to why there aren't any groups, because there could be. So I'm thinking that there has to be another reason in there somewhere.
So
other reasons, I should say.
There's no right or there's multiple reasons. There's numerous reasons on why it's not. Why it's not in there. There's not going to be one set answers. There's going to be multiple answers on why it's not.
Yeah, well, I'm in search of answers.
Right. So when you give your answers, I can understand where you're coming from. When I give my answers, it can't be knocked down as there's not a debate to my answers, because my answers could be relevant to what we're talking about.
Well, Troy, you don't want me to give you any information?
No, you're giving me information, but in the process, you're giving me some information, son. You're knocking down what I'm saying and giving me information. No, it can't be that because it's this. But when you speak yours, I can understand. Yeah, it could be that.
Well,
Because
I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. I'm saying that I'm saying why that's probably not the solo answer. Like,
no, I'm not giving you solo answers. I'm giving you answers because there's not a solo answer.
Well, you did say one of the answers that you gave.
Solo answer, we would have been came up with the solo answer. There is no solo answer to why there are not no R&B groups out there.
But wait a minute, you did say that one of the answers was that nobody's checking for it.
Right, that's one of the answers. They're not checking for it because they're looking for the next best solo artist. Just like there's no, like, just like when I think about it, right? We haven't heard another Mariah Carey. We haven't heard another Mary J. We haven't heard another Patti LaBelle or another Shaka Khan. We heard people that's somewhat near that, but they have never made it to the top of where they're at.
How can you say that?
Who?
Well, Beyonce came out way after everybody.
Yeah, my fault. And that took a while before we got to that.
Okay, how about
it took to the 2000s.
Wait a minute, Keisha Cole is on tour right now.
But Keisha Cole is nowhere on the level of Beyonce, Mary J, or Mariah Carey. She's not on that level.
What level? What level? I mean, because that's a perspective.
Okay, well, Beyonce is doing stages.
Hold on, my cousin and her two girlfriends flew from Milwaukee to Philly to see Keisha Cole.
Where at?
At the what do you call it now? The
Leah Core Center?
Not Leah Core Center. The motherfucking the big stadium, goddamn. You know the motherfucking Wells Fargo. At Wells Fargo.
We know the new name. Infinity Stadium, yeah.
That's what it's called now?
Yeah, it's called Xfinity.
It is?
Yes.
It still says Wells Fargo right there on the joint.
It's no longer. Look on it now, son.
All right. I was just there. But okay. All right. But nonetheless, that's where she
is not nowhere near Beyonce or Mary J or Mariah.
Okay.
Nowhere near.
All right. I think you're talking about. No other
artist. There's no other artist that has been to that level or has touched that level as of yet.
Are you talking about in terms of talent?
No, in terms of markability, in terms of prestige, in terms of icon status.
Then how is she on tour selling out stadiums and don't even have
on tour? She's on a tour.
No, she's not. She was the headliner. Yes. She was the headliner. They came to see her. She had people on her undercard, and she does not have, and she does not have a current album out.
At Wells Fargo, okay, she's at Wells Fargo. Beyonce's doing the link.
You can't.
She's doing the link. She's doing.
So wait. Mary J. Blige is not going to sell out the link. So you can't use Beyonce as no damn example. Cause you at the top of the mountain. Cause Mariah Carey ain't selling out the link either. Ain't gonna happen. So you can't do that. If you can sell out a 20,000 seat, if you can sell out a 20,000 seat arena, then you doing some shit.
And you telling me that Keisha Cole sold out Wells Fargo?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Who was on her card?
I didn't go. But like I said, my cousin flew in to Philly just to see Keisha Cole. You think nobody else is doing that?
I didn't say that.
Well, my point is, she might not be big to you, but she has her fans. But that's irrelevant in this conversation anyway, because we talking about groups.
What I'm saying,
but there have been solo acts that have their people and have big fans that have come out after. I mean, I like Leela James. She dope as shit.
I love Leela James. I love Keisha Cole. I love all of them. But what I'm saying is
they do their numbers. They do their numbers. You know,
there's a difference, bro. There's a difference.
One of the biggest differences is that they're in this era, and so they have to work with what they're working with. They can't go back. They can't go back to the 90s or the 80s or any of those other times and be those people that you're talking about. Those people that you're talking about are over.
You just fucked the nail up with that hammer. We're in a different time. In a relevant.
So in this time, they are large.
And the relevancy of R&B groups are not part of what's going on in music. And if you out there pushing R&B groups and you're doing it on your own, you have to continuously push to get that market. And if you stop doing that, it's the same thing with comedy. Just like you said, it's a hustler's ambition. You have to keep doing it.
Well, that doesn't explain how come no new ones are starting. That would only explain.
The reason why those new ones are starting is because they give up, and they give up at a time where it get to the point where it's frustrating.
But that wouldn't explain why they didn't start, Troy.
They started. Who said they didn't start? So some groups started and they went forward and they moved it. They might have done it. They might have did some stuff up and down the East Coast. They might even do it to the West Coast. But they didn't get a nudge. They didn't get their popularity. They might even be getting booked. Or even when you get booked, you're paying a group. You're paying a band. You're not making that money as a group at a place. Let's go to the TLA down South Street. When you're a group and you go do a show there as a group, let's say you get $15,000. You gotta pay the band, you gotta pay your manager, you gotta pay your road manager, you gotta pay the people that's in the group. So if you're not breaking even, you're going home with pocket change. And then you go to the next state. And it's the same shit. It gets to the point where there's a frustration to it.
I don't see the frustration part of it manifesting itself in the starting of a group. I could understand why that would stop a group from persevering or from advancing. I could understand how come that would break up a group. That does not explain to me how come groups aren't being started.
So why do you think groups are not being started?
I'm looking for the answer. I don't know it. But I do think...
My opinion on that is that groups are not being started because everybody feels as though they want to be a solo artist. Everybody feels as though they're that great. They're that great. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you, if you look at white music groups, not R&B, let's look at white music groups. I guarantee you see white music groups up and down that's out there doing their thing. And then when you try to look up black R&B groups, it's going to be a problem because we look for it to be, we want to do this, we want to be in the front. We don't want to be in the middle. See, Michael Bivins and Ronnie DeVoe knew their part.
Okay.
Shit, even Melvin and Otis knew their part in the Temptations.
Troy, the reason why this show was called What Happened to the Hip hop
What
and R.
happened? The thing about the show is called "What Happened to the Music Group."
No, it's not.
Why are there not no music groups?
No, it's not. That's not what the name of this show is. This show is specifically centered on hip hop and R&B groups. Rock music brings out new groups every fucking year.
And that's what.
Wait. The only genre of music that is not bringing out any new groups is hip hop and R&B. That's why I'm. If I knew that, this show wouldn't exist.
Everybody wants to be a vocal. Everybody wants to be a singer. They don't know their position.
So only in hip hop and R&B do group members want to be solo.
Son,
are we ready to say that?
Son, I'm not ready to say that. I'm giving you my opinion.
Okay. All right. What's Troy. You have to set your trajectory. You just thought that I was talking about groups as a whole. Now that you understand, and even though I said this early at the top of the show, that we're only talking about hip hop and R&B because that's the genre.
I branched off over there to give you an example. I still know the topic. And what I'm saying to you is that certain people know their position. And there's other people that don't know their position. That feel as though they belong. They're the route. Or they're the fucking head of David Ruffin or Paul Williams. Everybody can't be them.
Do you know the group? You heard of the Migos, right?
Yes.
All right. Pretty successful, right?
Yes.
How about Griselda?
No, I've heard them, but I haven't heard them.
All right. Pretty successful. Pretty well known. Pretty up to date. So.
No, go back to the Migos.
Okay.
They knew their position. Let me tell you how I can tell. They told you what their position was. Takeoff was the head. Takeoff was the man. Takeoff was the one. They said that in front of his face. The other two was just rappers. He was the focal point. He was the bars.
Okay. The reason that I brought up the Migos, the reason I brought them up is because they were a group, they were a good group, they were respected, and they were a good example of how a new group could come out and do well. So why wouldn't other solo artists, because every solo artist is not really a solo artist. So I would have thought that somebody would have took the example of the Migos, like, yo, we can put together a group too. But why hasn't that happened? I don't even have an R&B example to speak from in the modern era. But I do have Griselda and I do have the Migos.
Well, Jason just said Griselda is not really a group per se. They're more of a collective.
Nonetheless, Wu-Tang wasn't really a group. It was more of a collective. Maybe Griselda is more of a modern day group. Maybe this is how groups are put together today in this modern era. But I know what you're talking about, Jay. But the bottom line is people normally duplicate success. No? So if people normally duplicate success, why wouldn't they follow that example? You going in entertainment, you either gonna get rich or get jerked. At either time, you'll still get fame. You'll have to learn how to capitalize off of the fame. So if you have at least two, and that's only two examples. There are more. There are more. Cheryl Hudson sent me a Google. She sent me a Google search, result, and she asked why there are no more groups. And it said, a shift in technology and economics has led to fewer new groups making popular songs while favoring individual artists instead. Recording and promotional costs, the low revenue from streaming, and pressure of social media marketing have made it more difficult for new bands to achieve success. Now, the thing is, she didn't ask why are there no more hip hop and R&B groups, because this is a general answer. It's a viable answer, but this is a blanket answer that would not explain how come, regardless of these facts, rock groups still come up with new artists. I mean, with new groups, even techno, new groups. The only two genres that I can see, or that I know of, that are not being prolific when it comes to groups anymore are hip hop and R&B. So there has to be some kind of special reason for that. And I don't think it's just because they want to be solo artists, because rock groups want to be solo too, but they know they got to do their thing together first, because it has to be about the music first. So maybe that's one of the answers. One thing, I mean, because it can be argued that nowadays hip hop music, maybe not R&B as much, but hip hop music is not necessarily about the music anymore. But then again, maybe it is about the music, because these motherfuckers can't rap. So it's kind of about the beat. It's kind of being about the beat, and the beat is the music. So, I mean, there are a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop music is not even relevant. Like, what made hip hop music relevant as of today, what made it more relevant was last year when Kendrick Lamar and Drake went through that beef. Other than that, rap music, hip hop music hasn't been like real deep, because it's been more of the mumble type music, to not understand anymore. The drill rap, the fucking Chief Keef, King Von, Little Dirt, NBA Youngboy, and then you brought forth the message of what's her name, Sexy Red. Sexy Red became popular off of horror music. What is it? Pound cake or whatever the thing is. She got popular off of that. She followed everybody. Every woman rapper follows the nucleus of Little Kim. Even Nicki did, but when she first came out, she changed. She didn't follow that nucleus, but she switched her pitch up. So at the end of the day, rap music is not rap music anymore. The culture has changed. They're accepting bullshit. Right, thanks to Carrie Pound Town. That's how Sexy Red became popular.
Man, that shit ain't that bad. I've heard worse.
That shit ain't that bad.
It ain't.
It ain't that bad until you hear your daughter singing it.
It ain't for my daughter. It ain't. Listen. That it ain't for my daughter. But shit,
right.
Maybe.
I'm not saying it's for your daughter. I can't.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We had our controversial songs when we was growing up too, that maybe we shouldn't have been singing, and we was.
Right, and I agree with you on that. But see, at the end of the day, it was controversial songs that we shouldn't have been singing, that we didn't have knowledge of. Now that we're the adults, we have knowledge of it.
Oh yeah, so we should have been. So at our age, we should have been singing Two Live Crew.
At our age, our parents should have known that.
How was they gonna know?
Parents wasn't always around.
We didn't play the song. We didn't play the songs for our parents.
Just like I said, our parents wasn't always around us. Just like we're not always around our kids. I said it's okay until you hear your daughter singing. I'm not saying that you're playing it around them, They're gonna hear it through their girlfriend. They might hear it being.
Listen. All I'm saying is the song ain't that bad. I've heard worse. You know what I mean? I've heard worse.
I've heard a lot worse.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by it ain't that bad. Like I've heard worse in our era too.
Well, just like I said, the culture's changed, and with the culture changing, music is this R&B, this hip hop shit is not what it used to be. You're not gonna find relevancy in hip hop anymore. Unless you go underground.
All right, Jason made a good point. He said pretty much all rock features multiple instruments, and that leads itself to forming groups. But for years, hip hop and R&B artists have relied on studio musicians or purely engineered music. Now we're getting somewhere. Because I noticed a shift coming from the 90s. You know, coming from the 80s, I noticed that things started becoming different in the 90s, especially at the end of the 90s, when guess what? They took away, when they stopped featuring the DJ in the groups. Even the solo acts all had a DJ because the DJ was an integral part of every hip hop song. Let the DJ do his thing. When we were no longer looking at scratching and cutting and scratching or whatever, or just sampling the cuts and the scratches instead of actually having a live DJ to do it and featuring a live DJ, it almost seems like when we got rid of the hip hop dancers, we got rid of the hip hop DJ also. But we have to remember that there was a time when the DJ was the focal point of hip hop. The rapper was secondary. But as time went on, the rapper it pretty much grabbed the crown as crown of attention, and here we are where we are now.
So but you don't know that there's DJs on stages now?
They have DJs, they have show DJs now. The DJ is not part of the group anymore, or even mentioned on the artist songs. When was the last time when you ever hear Meek Mills mention his DJ, or Drake, or
I just heard Future mention his DJ Metro Boomin.
Okay, well, cool.
I just heard Kendrick scream out Mustard.
Okay.
So these DJs it's not just so much of the DJ.
No, the DJs are show DJs. They are not on the records anymore. They're not.
So they're not producing?
They may be producing, but DJs were more than just producers back in the day. That was how we formed the groups. You know, like you Big Daddy Kane was a solo act, but he mentioned DJ Mr. C all the time. All the time.
He
was DJ Mr. C. Hold on. It did not say the group. It did not say Big Daddy Kane and DJ Mr. C on that album. No album didn't say that. But he made sure that Mr. C was more than just a show DJ. And really, he really just was a show DJ. But he made him more because he gave him a solo track on his first album, and he made sure that he pretty much integrated him into his act. Now we don't really do that. We don't really do that anymore. You know what I mean? Unless you're a hip hop purist, you don't even really understand what cutting and scratching is about. We don't have like the new music seminar anymore. We don't have the world supremacy title anymore. We don't have things like that. But those things actually died out in the 90s, not in the 2000s. We still had groups, R&B groups and rap groups in the 90s and in the 2000s. It seems like from they started dying out a little bit more from 2000 to 2010, and from 2010 they became pretty much, they went the way of the typewriter. So, 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 we're looking for clues. I agree that there's not one answer, but there are answers that we can point to. But that's a good point about the rock groups. Of course, they're going to be bands because they gotta have them. Now,
that's the whole part of knowing your position. The whole part of knowing your position when you're in a rock band, you know your position. You got the guitar player, you got the drummers, you got all these other entities in a rock band. Whereas on R&B groups, you just have singers in the forefront, and they still have to know.
That's not true, Troy. R&B groups have musicians in them too.
Right.
They're not all just singers.
9 times out of 10, the musicians that's are in an R&B group are not formed by the R&B group. It's formed by the manager is help putting that together. The people that's putting that together is bringing a band in. They're bringing that band in. It's not a group that get together and say, let's come together and sing, but we got to be able to get a band too. It's very rare.
It's not. It's not rare. It's not rare. It's not rare at all. There have been plenty of solo artists that work with bands or whatever, but they may have gotten
We're not talking about solo artists. We're talking about groups.
Did you hear what I said?
You said there's been plenty of solo artists.
And what did I say after that?
That have bands.
I said that. So like I was saying, there are plenty of solo artists that were in bands and that worked with bands, but they may have written their own songs and things like that, and they were with a band, but they went and got a solo deal. Now you look at like let me think.
Sade.
No, we're not going all the way back that far. We gonna go recent. Okay. Nelly had the he was with the Saint Lunatics before he was a solo act. But he got signed as a solo act and he went back and got and brought his group up. So it wouldn't surprise me if that sort of thing is happening now without them bringing the group up. You understand what I mean? Like maybe I had a group. These are my boys over here, but I fucked around and got this solo deal. But I'm gonna go back and get them, and maybe they never went back and got them. The game is the one that brought Kendrick in. Kendrick and Game used to make songs together. They rhyme together, whatever. And when Game got on, he put Kendrick on. The first time I ever heard Kendrick was on a Game song on his second album, the Red album. I was like, yo, this boy dope. So there are plenty of cats who still work with each other, maybe in a group or whatever, but they fuck around and get a solo deal, and they may or may not go back and get and put they boys on. Same thing with Eminem. Eminem had D12 before he was signed, but he went back and got his crew and put them on. Somehow that energy and that action stopped. But I don't know if there's somewhere out here in the United States, maybe even in Europe or somewhere where they are grouping up. But maybe one of them is working harder than the other. Maybe a local example that you might be able to relate to is this. That MC Breeze was part of B-Force first. Now B-Force, they used to win awards. They won competitions and all of that. They were a very, very popular rap group in the city. No records. And then when when they came out with the discombobulator boobulator records, that was actually a B Force record. That wasn't a MC Breeze record. So it was, they took the two members from B Force to make the record, which was MC Breeze and Handmaster Flash. And what happened was Handmaster Flash wanted to rhyme instead of be the DJ. He wanted more rhyming records. And Breeze was like, nah, go ahead. You know what I mean? Won't you just be the DJ? In our regular group, that's what you want. Now you want to be a rapper? And that's where they split came in. It may be, we may be having that type of disagreement going on now. But
that's exactly what I just said. I just said that people don't know their position.
But they got started. You know what I mean? I don't accept an ending before the beginning. An ending that comes before the beginning means that it never got started in the first place. There's no reason to mention it. The question is,
I didn't say that it didn't get started. The reason why it didn't flourish when it got started is because they didn't know their position. And it didn't go further. Or finances stopped it. On being neglected, being dejected from the situation of keep pushing, stopped it. That's what I said.
Okay.
That's at least what I meant.
Okay. All I'm saying is that all I'm saying is that we don't even see groups come out. I can accept that they didn't blow the way I thought they should blow, but we're not seeing them. We're not even seeing them get started. So where's the discouragement? Where's the discouragement or whatever that stops them from even starting? Now, I'm sure we could probably go on YouTube and type in it is a Google search. We could probably put in hip hop or R&B, new hip hop and R&B groups. Matter of fact, I haven't done that. Let's do that. Hip hop and R&B groups formed after 2010. Okay. Well. Look at here. All right. City Girls. They came out in 2017. I have heard of them. Young Miami. All right. Seth's Hollow Water Boys. Have you ever heard of them?
Nope.
Me either. They came out in 2013. Goth Boy Clique. Another collective formed from the ashes of Raider Clan, featuring members Lil Peep, who's dead, Key Nyada, and Brockhampton came out in 2015. Griselda came out in 2012. These are hip hop groups. And Coast Contra. Them motherfuckers dope as shit.
They dope as shit. And why are they not in a level of where they supposed to be at as a group?
Well, I don't think that they have to be at the level that we're thinking of. You know them and I know them, and they doing their thing. And that's good enough for me. You know what I mean? Because what they doing is different. I'm sure they're getting money some kind of way, because those videos that they put out, they get a lot of views.
What they doing is old school, and that's what's making it relevant. And that's the culture. What they doing is the culture. This rap that they doing today is not the culture, and it's fucked up. So that's why people is willing to sit down and listen to it because it's almost on some scenario, fucking fucking scenario, fucking Wu-Tang. It's a mixture of all that shit. The first one, the sound is almost up there with ODB.
Can we just say that they dope?
No, I'm saying they dope, but what makes them dope is just on some old school shit. And that's what makes them dope to me.
Well, I just say that they dope. And because they're dope, I would think that somebody else would bite their shit and try to be dope too. Where's that part? You mean to tell me that motherfuckers ain't biting in hip hop no more? Since when?
They biting.
All right. So and now this is the concerning part. This is the concerning part. R&B groups formed after 2010. It's only one, two. God damn. It's really only two. Next Town Down came out in 2017. Have you ever heard of them?
Nope.
It says this R&B boy band formed in a very modern way, connecting with one another through social media. After building a bond online, the 5 members moved to LA and began their career. All right, band Bad, Not Good formed in 2010. While primarily known as a jazz funk instrumental group, their work is heavily influenced by hip hop and R&B. They have collaborated with numerous prominent artists like in both genres, including Frank Ocean, and are part of the alternative R&B movement. Other notable collaborations: The Carters, 2018, although not a group in the traditional sense. The super duo of Beyonce. Oh, no, we're not fucking with that. All right. That's supposed to be Beyonce and Jay-Z. No. Mad Gibbs formed in 2014. This rapper producer duo is a collaboration between rapper Freddie Gibbs and legendary producer Mad Lib. Their albums Pinata in 2014 and Bandana in 2019 are considered classics of the decade. That's it, though. That's it. As far as that search is concerned, 2 solidified R&B groups, and let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 rap groups. I hate to say this, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised because I didn't, you know what I mean? I had nothing. At least there's something out there. So if there's something out there, then there's probably more out there that probably didn't make this list. Somebody out there is grinding as a group. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Those groups will manifest. All right. I don't know. Jason says, who told me I had potential as a rapper? I don't know if I ever told you that, Son 752. Jason, you was dope. Motherfucker used to round his ass off. Very methodical. All right. Edward Show. Watching. He says, FYI, you're watching an Eagles fan live on YouTube now. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and take care of business. We're going to go ahead and take care of business on Sunday. Monkey King, what up? What up, Monkey King? All right, so we doing our thing. All right, Pete. What up, Pete? Shevchenko? Wait. Shevchenko? Shevchenko? Man, I don't even know why I tried. My bad, my dude. My bad. We already 2 hours in. We can actually, we can end this. You know what I mean? We can go ahead and get on up out of here. But I don't know, man. I just think that there's more out here than what has been shown. Hip-hop and R&B will always have a thriving underground, you know, and the underground is where you find a lot of gems. You know what I mean? Where do you find diamonds and gold? You don't find them up. You don't find them above ground. You find them underground. So we got to keep looking. But I know there's some good shit out there. You know, I miss the old days. You know, going to showcases and shit like that. That's where you might find some hip hop and R&B groups. I haven't been to anything like that. I hosted one before, but I think that was before 2010. I know it was. Yo, you got I'm getting an echo on your side.
Okay.
Oh, Jason said you missed the first part of what I said. I was saying that Breeze was the first person who I said had potential as a rapper when I was 15. Yeah, Breeze was dope. I thought for a long time I thought Breeze was probably the best rapper out of Philly. Who knew he was lazy? Who knew?
You talking about MC Breeze?
Yeah, Mick Breeze.
Me and MC Breeze, we all used to hang out down at Salsa's down on 13th and Locust at the club.
That was his spot. Mm-hmm.
And then when we left there, we all used to go to the IHOP right there between 18th and 17th and Walnut. One of the coolest guys ever. I'm just mad that he changed his name to Joey B. Ellis and signed with Hammer.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wait a minute. Did you know that the brothers in Coast Contra are Ras Kass's sons?
I didn't know that.
Ain't this about a bitch? You know what I mean?
I know one of them from Philly now. The one that got the matted braid, the matted dreads or something like that. He from Philly.
Kim said pre-pandemic groups were forming. Post-pandemic solo artists found what worked. Okay. All right. And
the next time comes, your ass better be quicker than that. Call the hell in early. You should know better. I'm shocked and appalled and very disappointed in
you. Maybe she thought Keith was still alive. You know, Keith can't be on the line more than like 10 minutes.
No, not even 5.
Nah, he ain't got the chops for that. He's like, huh? He started getting antsy.
Like, me and you going at it with like 2 uncles. He was the nephew. I hang up.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even say bye. He just bang out. All right,
he didn't even say bye. He's a motherfucker, boy.
I mean, he can't get a see you later, nothing. Like, all right. My work is done here. All right. Let's get ready to get on the body here. All right.
Well, you should have, hold up. So what? You should have took a nap earlier. Don't do it no more. You got to demerit. Next time you're going to stand in the corner during the show while you're on the phone.
Who you talking about?
Films. So I was late. I'm really falling apart due to lack of sleep. I wake your ass up. Let me bring a bat to the house. Now curse me the hell out now. Go ahead, curse me out, Kills.
Oh, we got a dickhead in the chat.
What did the dickhead say?
Fake LL Cool J.
Oh, come on, Barney. Your mother's a whore.
This nigga got a name like Barney, and he took
with an extra Y in it. Your mother's a whore, Barney.
I'm done.
Take that for the night.
I'm done. I'm diggity done.
I understand now, Kels. I understand. And I'm sorry for joking about that. She said the bat is the cause for for her not being able to sleep.
Now you realize that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So that's some serious bat shit.
Mm-hmm.
You might say that's bat shit crazy.
Look, that's from Hollywood Shuffle. Baddie.
What was that Halloween special? He was like teeny tiny bat.
Yeah. Let a bat come in my. I'm gonna beat that bat with a bat. I'm gonna use a double entendre on that motherfucker.
Wait, Alex Olivares says if y'all want to listen to some music, I can send you some. What kind of music is it?
Well, so send them an email and get the music, and I guarantee you, Where you from, Alex Olivares? Are you part of the Olivares family that started Pat States?
Send your music, my dude. I'll play your music on this show as long as it's not copywritten. I'm always down to help young artists. He's definitely very, very Hispanic.
Kills, I will be praying for you about the situation about not being able to sleep and having an allergic reaction to what you're going through. So all day I was just joking with you, hope and pray everything's all right with you, girl. But I don't mean nothing. Bring your ass on this phone early. You know better. Damn it. Damn you, Kims. Damn you.
All right, man. You gonna do these? Hold on. Let's do the poll. Let's do the poll. All right, out of 49 votes, what do you think is the number one reason why there aren't many hip hop or R&B groups anymore? 27% said money. They don't want to split it up. 37% says they can't get along long enough. Interesting. 29% says members are always going solo. And 8% says artists are better solo. Wow, I say. Well, pretty balanced for the most part for the three, excluding the solo artist one.
Can I ask you a question, son? A couple weeks ago on a Sunday, you had asked Kim one question. You said, "Do you do this?" Because I think if she's done that, she'll be able to sleep a little bit better.
Oh God!
Because that would take so much out of you. You're not going to need melatonin. You're your own melatonin, Kim. Get to know yourself.
I asked her if she ever got caught. I ain't asked her if she did it. That would be inappropriate.
Well, ask her. Tell her don't get caught. Only thing I can tell you, Kim, is getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
All right, we doing these birthday shout outs and we getting on about it. That's what's going to happen. All right, so we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. Hold on. I got to clear out some things. Got a lot of clutter on my monitor here. Hold on.
And let me tell you this, Mr. Sun 752. I don't care. We argue back and forth and debate at a loud voice. I love you, man.
So I'm about to cut your fucking mic off. I don't have to put up with this shit.
Why you cut my mic off?
Because that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jason, I gotta meet up with you. Jason. I need to leave. I gotta hear some bars, bro.
That was the 11th. When is the fucking 12?
Wait, why you gonna hit me with the phony laugh?
This one is real. Yo, I didn't hear that new Ghostface. I heard that thing fire though. I heard it was fire. I heard the new Raekwon was dope too. Okay. All right, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. September 12th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, our very own Carla Barry Miller. Carla, happy birthday to you. And I hope that today finds you in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And we wish you many, 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 many more happy and healthy ones. And also Arthur Robinson Jr., Renee Gates, Michael Douglas, D.L. Wanamaker, Regina Hairston, Red Jim, go-getter Felicia Franks, Elaine Fields, go-getter Katrina Fields, Angela Richards, go-getter Vaughn D. Chisholm, a.k.a. Cav G's, Janice J. Bell Bush, Natasha Natalie Christopher, Haraya Survive, Strive, Thrive. Okay, cool. Her name is Haraya something Bay, something Islamic. And Marva Refused to Give Up Brooks, go get her. Last but not least, Sam Epps. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious September 12th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, no R&B groups, no rap groups. What the hell happened to the food and the soup? It's like nobody wants to get together no more, and I don't understand why you can't run up the score. You're now tuned into the new shit, just like the old shit. We brew shit, but not like beer. We going to keep it real here, and I'm going to tell you, yo, I sometimes shed a tear at the fact that I can't find no whack-ass groups or even dope ones. I hope ones start to form, soft and warm, just like a quiet storm back in the day. We used to be torn between who was the best, BDP or PE. And yo, it didn't really matter too much to me. I know who was my fave, and I knew how to behave when the song came on. I just sung the song, warned you not to turn down the radio or pop my tape because it's going to make me scrape your face on the ground. I sound like somebody got mad when the music wasn't down just like a submarine. Struggle to keep my sneaks clean. New Nike Airs here. Everything is gonna be all right. Sometimes the music is so hyped, yeah, it just made you fight. Like Onyx, throw your guns. You understand what I'm talking about for real, son? Back in the days, we had a lot, and I don't see why they can't have that shit now. Yo, blow up the spot. So any young artists out there right now, if you listen to this sound, yo, put the group down. If you got the homies, you ain't got to be lonely. You can get the shit popping. Yo, let the music start dropping. You ain't got to do it by yourself. Even being by yourself ain't really good for your mental health. And emotional, yo, we got the ocean, yo. I'm out here surfing the internet, looking for something that's really hot. Come on, do that shit, yo. Why not? It's like Scott Tissue. I'm hearing too much shit, wiping my ass with it. I don't want to hear it. Yo, speaking of I don't want to hear it, yo, bust this Stevie Wonder lyrics. I don't want to bore you with it, but y'all need to click up and yo, it goes like that. I rewind it back and stack the dough from the floor to the ceiling. I'm telling you how I'm feeling. It's appealing to more than just the masses. I got some hot shit that's gonna burn all y'all asses. Just like a whole bottle of hot sauce. Shit is gonna be hot and motherfucker, yo, of course. I want you to make this tape, the CD, MP3. Just listen to my shit and see. Give me a chance. Yo, listen to my demo. EPMD said that shit. And you know, that was a real thing back in the day. You might not be able to find no labels, but you'll still be okay. Yo, get your shit on streaming platforms and make this shit hot than a motherfucker. I warn you. Yo, don't wait for success to come. You gotta go out there and get that shit for real, son. And 2 eyes are better than 1, and 4 eyes are better than 2. I'm talking to all of you. All of y'all got talent. Yo, show that shit just like the cards in your hand. You're just making the band. And nobody gotta get jerked. And nobody gotta go outside and get hurt. And nobody gotta take a bullet to the neck like Charles Kirk. But I'm kind of glad it happened. Fuck that nigga. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Urban Therapy with Sun show. Yes, in less than 12 hours at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be back with another Urban Therapy with Sun show. This is the Daily Go Getimism show. That's what we do from Monday through Friday. But then we have the Urban Therapy with Sun show. That's on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to be talking about some fly shit come tomorrow afternoon. So make sure y'all come through. I got a battle rap event tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. My man, Murder Mook is battling Hitman Holla. I don't want to miss that shit. So do the show, then, you know what I mean, get myself in gear, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Can I just give a shout out to my twin boys whose birthday was last Sunday, and I forgot to bring it up. He turned 13, so I just wanted to say that, you know, mention that their birthday was last Sunday. I just didn't bring it up. So happy belated birthday to my boys.
All right, yo, won't you shout your sons out if they had a birthday recently?
I'm gonna whoop your ass, man.
What's up? What you still doing on the line anyway? You cheating.
Hey. I'm not on the line. This is your office.
I'll let you later, yo. Hey, all of y'all, man, y'all have a good night. Have an even better day. Peace. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. One love, baby. Peace.